Good evening and welcome to our platform. So let's talk today another very important component of our society, and I'm going to talk about women's well-being. In Ayurvedic science, it is very, very clearly mentioned in our ancient text that women's health was always at top priority, and the reason of that is that women's health, women's well-being is not only associated with herself only. Women's well-being has a direct impact on family's well-being, then the society's well-being, and the national well-being. Someone might think, hang on, how come? But this is where those ancient sages have so deeply understood and clearly tried to explain to all of us that woman being the central part of the whole small nucleus part of the family or the bigger one. And that well-being, not only at a physical level, mental, emotional level, she is the one who always have kept everyone together. But now, today, the situation has totally changed. Women are suffering in their life at all those different important component or the segment of their life, whether we call it as their early stage, what we call as when they start their period. From there, the various issues start, whether it is PMS issues, whether it is dysmenorrhea, whether it is metrorrhagia, menorrhagia, endometriosis. Then you talk about problems during pregnancy, miscarriage, infertility. Then the problems related with the children when the newborns are born. And then postnatal depression, perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, you name it. Every stage, women go through various problems, and all the time it seems that they live under such a big fear, and then so many pathologies, whether it is breast cancer, whether it is vaginal cancer, ovarian cancer, whether it is cervix cancers or pathologies. Why these are happening so much? If I have to be very frank and very clearly, the reason of that is woman herself. Because the way women are trying to live today or have to live, whatever reason you might say, that is contributing towards their problem a lot. So many emotional issues, so many mental issues, and then the physical mistakes which they all the time carry. In Ayurvedic concept, every part of their life has been explained so beautifully and have given so much clear guideline that women should live this part of their life following these aspects. Whether we talk about diet or lifestyle, but most important is the mental and emotional factor. But then, in this, whatever we call it, cat race or hectic race or whatever you want to say, woman has gone through so much in the opposite direction that, not to speak about that how they can sustain and maintain the family, they themselves can't sustain themselves, and they're becoming slave of various kind of supplement, whatever supplement you call them, vitamin D supplement, magnesium, zinc, iron, omega-3 and all those various components what being prescribed to them by so many practitioners out in the market. Or if they don't visit those practitioners, they can go to these health shops. They buy the same sort of supplement, which again will be prescribed by those practitioners, but maybe the name is different, comes as in a professional range or something. I wonder sometimes that while woman is losing her that intelligence or vivek, what we call in Ayurveda, how come all us as a practitioner also losing our that intelligence and vivek, that our role is not to bombard such people who are having a bit of suffering or ignorance about their well-being with so many supplements, and rather than bombarding those, sit and guide them that their problems are created by themselves and they have the ability to correct if they start thinking about themselves, about their thoughts, about their emotions, about their lifestyle, diet, and many of their problems can get better. But neither it is happening with the woman or neither it is happening with those practitioners. They also all the time thinking of that whenever women come to their clinic as a client, their role is to at least give 5-7 supplements and then they feel satisfied as well as the client feels satisfied. It's a very sad part. So what I'm going to share again, I'm trying to do my part. I know neither I can change the world, neither people will listen to what I'm talking, but I still keep sharing because that's what I feel my dharma is. And what I'm sharing is to try to share through this platform to all these, whether it is young girls or mature women in their 30s, 40s, and then mature women who are going through the menopause stage, that if they can listen, that there is a hope for their well-being. They don't need to suffer any of those problems what they suffer if they can create a balance. And that balance is what is important. You don't need to give up everything what you do at the moment, and whether you want to become a CEO of a company or a managing director or anything. It's all about you can still achieve everything as equal to men or anyone, as long as you can build a little bit of balance. And when we look into these balance, at every stage, there are various aspects which has been prescribed by our ancient sages. And even 50% of that they can follow, things will be totally different. Look at the age of, if I start from their last phase of age, which is post-menopause, and the sufferings, whatever they have, whether it is the issue of high blood pressure, obesity coming up, or weight gain comes up, osteoporosis comes up, or sleep issues, or some mental issues comes up. But whenever women in the age of 70, 75 will come, when we discuss about their issues or pathologies, their main focus will be, I have a low libido. nothing about anything else of their well-being. Their concern is only on that. And when we talk about this issue, from Ayurvedic aspect, it is depleting your ojas, because your thought is only on that area, whereas now this age of 70, 75 is for you to tune more inside. That is what Ayurveda has advised to every woman, that your life is now more to look after your inner self. Whole life you have been living for your children, family, husband. Now is the time, but now the thought pattern has changed and their focus is only on that one aspect, which Ayurveda very clearly advised to even in the early age, that you need to build your ojas, you need to preserve your ojas for your sustainability at every level, physical, mental and emotional. But that is not something they want to listen. But that's a reality. So if someone able to understand that one component, that will change a lot for them. And then if you look at the major cause of their many problems, whether it is the age of 35 onwards or so, lot of issues are related with their emotions. Yes, they can be very much aware about their diet. They might be eating very organic food all the time or trying to live the things in a much more better way. But when you look at their state of emotion, majority of them are suffering from problems like resentment, frustration, hatred, anger, panic attack, anxieties, sleep issues, stress. And then all the time they will be thinking of, I have to take antidepressant, I have to take sleeping pill. Never want to understand that why these problems has come and from where these problems are coming up and how I can solve them. And those problems, how they impact them, they are the one who keep doing that inner churning, eating them from inside, eroding their well-being from inside, which can become the core cause of many problems, because that sort of issues come up at the age of say 30 onward. When they make wrong choices, they might end up into multiple relationship, and then when they have children, partner has left or for one reason or the other. I'm not saying that everyone left them, but majority of the time when you listen, they will be into a solo mother. They have to look after the child, whether one or two, and then they have that whole life of resentment, anger, hatred toward that person. And they don't think that these emotions are actually not impacting that person, but they are impacting them inside. And there is no supplement in the world which can mitigate the impact of those on their life. In the same way, when in the young age they go through hysterectomy, even because they don't understand why I'm going through hysterectomy, how it will impact me, because when they, in the early age, they were going through their period, they never tried to look after that, how my periods can be a natural process for me and not should build up so many of discomfort and bringing so many of issues, what we call as our PMS issue, right? And same problems ultimately can become like an endometriosis issue, and when the endometriosis issue comes up, then they have a difficulty to conceive, They go through the IVF process, and when those not getting successful, that brings them more stress and frustration and anger. So all those aspects lead them to all the imbalances what they are suffering nowadays. And that's where every time you will see that they will be looking for one or the other supplement. So today I'm briefly trying to share that every woman has the ability to go through these all phases, but don't think that all the problems what they suffer during this phase are natural. They have to suffer. No. They can live in a very smooth life throughout their journey, and that journey can be very admiring, very nurturing, very peaceful. Only one thing they need to do, and that has to be done by every woman, that try to get away from this cat race, try to slow down, achieve everything, do everything, but understand that your body has the power to deal with every phase of their life very nicely, but you need to listen to your bodily intelligence. And first of all, what they need to listen is their mental and emotional state. Don't let those emotions get suppressed. Try to clean them. And cleaning is not just closing eyes and sitting for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes and do this so-called meditation. That is not going to give you any solution. Until you try to do a complete cleansing, and that complete cleansing in Ayurvedic approach we call as Chit Yoga Sadhana. Chit Yoga Sadhana is something a new process. It's all about that you have to follow all those aspects what Ayurveda has shared with all of us for our total cleansing and rejuvenation, reviving. And rejuvenation is not just that I go and get in a 15 days, 3 weeks, 4 weeks of Panchkarma. Panchkarma is not going to do anything. If your internal, those emotional state has not been taken care of, this Panchkarma or anything is not going to do any good to you. So listen to yourself, and I will really appreciate, and my appeal will be to the women also, as well as to those practitioners who are misusing these women's weaknesses and trying to bombard them all the time with so many supplements, that come forward, make an honest commitment that yes, we will make change. And for that, even if I can see on this platform that 10 women make an honest commitment that we will look after ourselves, and at least 10 of such practitioners that we will not bombard such women with so-called supplement, but give them a better, complete guideline and approach so that their life can be improved. That will be wonderful. So let's collectively help women, and let's women to also play an active role in their well-being. And in the coming days, I will keep talking about specific ailments and how you can look after yourself rather than looking every time for this problem, this supplement. So that's the message I would like to share for today. Thanks, everyone.